bit naughty. I'm a little bit too consumed, but every part of my body is telling me to run away from you. Come a little bit closer.
Hi everyone and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. So we're in Roermond, which is a designer outlet village. There are tons of different brands, like not just high-end luxury brands, which is going to be the focus of today's video, but also like there's Adidas. I'm currently looking at, let me turn around, I think there are multiple stores of Polo Ralph Lauren, some of their division lines, and let me turn around without making you dizzy. So there's Dutch Gabbana. I'm planning to go inside. Let's see. Fingers crossed the lines won't be too long. It's early in the morning right now, so it's fairly manageable, but who knows how busy it's going to get. So Ferragamo is definitely on my to-do list. So is Burberry. Chloé, maybe the Chloé store is quite small, but there is a Chloé store. Maybe go inside Dutch Gabbana. We'll see. Gucci for sure, which is a go-to whenever I go to Roermond, which I think I've been there 3 times already. So check out my other vlogs in case you're interested. Prada and Miu Miu are always like lumped together in one boutique because obviously they're sister brands. So yeah, I guess follow me along. And in case this is your first time watching one of my videos, hi, I'm Lesley. So glad to have you here. On my channel I talk about all things luxury, in particular handbags, but I cover a wide range of topics. I film unboxings, reviews, shopping vlogs, which I adore filming for you, both inside outlet villages as well as like inside boutiques. Travel vlogs from time to time, so if that sounds like a thing, I would love for you to consider subscribing. And before I keep you any longer, let's look at some bags. Roermond Outlet is actually part of the McArthurGlen group, which obviously has tons of locations throughout Europe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe also in the US. And one thing to note is, while it's not overly special for US standards, it definitely is for Europe standards. You can shop 7 days a week, so they open on Sundays as well. I actually went on a Sunday, and granted, I mean, it's the weekend, it tends to get fairly busy the later you get into the day, but if you arrive bright and early, I think they open at 9 and I arrived at 10-ish. And early in the morning, it was definitely way less crowded than later in the day. Anyway, so my first stop was Ferragamo. When we're talking about Ferragamo, generally what we're looking at in terms of the savings is 35% off, which I think I've mentioned that in one of my other Roermond vlogs, especially considering that Ferragamo does sales in their boutiques and online twice a year, and you're basically looking at the same kind of markdowns. At least, like me personally, if I go to the outlets, I want to see prices that I wouldn't be able to get anywhere else. And considering that Ferragamo does have sales at basically the same type of markdowns, like 35%, maybe sometimes even 40%. I might be wrong on that. I don't know how I feel about outlets basically matching the markdowns that you can get in the sales anyway. Granted, the sales are only twice a year for a limited period of time, whereas the outlets are there all year round. But still, yeah, let me know what you think. But sometimes, really depending on luck and timing, I guess, you may come across a section in the outlets that have several markdowns. So take the initial price, then the outlet price, obviously, and then there's an additional markdown. And sometimes they're fairly generous. I've seen like the outlet markdown, so 35% off, and then an additional 50% off, for instance. So yeah, obviously depends on timing. I think the first time I went to the Roermond outlet, they did have a section with quite a good selection in terms of bags that ended up in the multiple markdown section. But talk about selection, they had tons of wonder bags, numerous sizes, numerous colors, solid colors. Even, I think I didn't film that, but they also had blacks and beiges, or like cognac-y, brownish type of shades. So fairly plain and classic styles. A couple of studio bags, not a hug bag yet. I'm definitely waiting and hoping and praying for a hug bag, like a regular hug bag, to end up in an outlet. But this gold number was basically like the closest you were able to get to the hug bag. They had tons of metallic bags as well. And again, 35% off. So, I mean, it's better than nothing, especially when we're looking at like designer prices when it comes to bags. 35% can amount to quite a good amount of saving, but still I would prefer to see like 50% off, but it is what it is. One thing to note, and that doesn't only apply to Ferragamo, but basically all of the outlet boutiques that I went inside of, most, if not all of the brands also have a men's section, varying in size compared to the women's section. Generally, the men's selection is on the smaller side, but they do have handbags or like other leather goods and accessories, as well as ready to wear. Another thing that really surprised me is I think this time around, this was the first time ever that I came across jewelry pieces at Ferragamo at the outlets. Generally, they have everything apart from jewelry, but this time around they did have a small-ish, but at least they did have a selection when it comes to jewelry. Anyway, next off, let's go to Chloé. Their boutique is on the smaller side, but they did have a great selection of bags. They have a small shoe selection, but most of their stock is handbags. They had the Marcy, for instance. I also, which I'm going to show you in a second, came across a test bag in this beautiful, like, cool tone steel blue. Gorgeous, gorgeous bag. I was very tempted by that one. They also had the woody tote in several sizes and in several materials. So all leather as well as the canvas material. And talking about materials when it comes to leather bags, obviously they had like regular leathers, if you will, but also tons of suede bags, which suede is definitely super hot for the upcoming coldest season. So I was really impressed by the selection. And yeah, the SA was also super nice. As I said, the Chloé boutique is on the smaller side and it's not like right in center of Roermond. It's a little more on the, I don't want to say outskirts, but it's not in the center of the outlet village. So it was fairly quiet, not a lot of people in there, which I appreciated.
I saw the city passing by my window. Was in the crowd, but I felt so alone. Looked at my phone like every other second. My future was blurry and numb. A tunnel where there's no light. Oh, but then you came and sat right next to me. Your eyes, they glowed and filled me up. We had never met before that time, but I just knew that we'd end up. You took it, took away my loneliness. Oh, I know it, I know it. You're making me wholehearted. Together it's always better. I don't want to be parted. You're making me wholehearted. You're making me wholehearted. We jumped off the subway leading nowhere. Your warm hands rubbed off the cold around me. I heard you say that everything is alright, but how did you know how I felt? You saw
Out of the luxury brands in Roermond, I'd say Burberry has one of the biggest stores. Not factoring in like Adidas, Nike, Polo Ralph Lauren, they have some massive stores at the Roermond outlet, but when we're talking about luxury brands, Burberry does have quite the massive store, and they obviously don't only carry handbags, but also ready to wear, like fairly classic looking like trench coat. So if you're on the lookout for a trench coat, I'd suggest going to an outlet. If you have one somewhat close, obviously. Also, one thing to note is I think every time I went to Burberry at Roermond outlet, they had some kind of promotion going on. So at least like an additional 20% off, or on a selection of bags, even like an additional 30%, 40%, I want to say. So they do run promotions on somewhat of a regular basis. At least it feels like it. The handbag selection this time around at Burberry was definitely a little different than the last couple of times I went to Roermond. The shapes were a little weird. Granted, I'm not overly familiar with whatever like Burberry comes out on a regular basis. Look at me struggling with how this bag is even like constructed and functioning, but I figured it out at the end. So granted, I'm not overly familiar with like new releases from Burberry, so maybe that's part of their new-ish range when it comes to bags, but the shapes weren't my cup of tea, and chances I wasn't the only one, because I heard a couple of people around me be like, yikes, that looks a little weird. And most of their like weird type of shape leather bags were marked down significantly. This one was actually cute, like not the shape of the bag, but this horse head on the side. little weird because they did have like on either side of the bag these like gold dangly bits, but here you go. So like 50% off. I don't know if that was like on top of the outlet price or like if the 50% was indicating whatever the outlet price translated to, but either way, I wasn't a fan of these like weird shaped leather bags, but to each their own. And if that caters to your taste in terms of bags, you can definitely score a deal at the outlets. But yeah, I also took a look at some ready-to-wear pieces. As I said, they did have tons of like standard looking trench coats, but also more puffer type jackets, for instance, shirts, skirts, all that good stuff. So I just came out of Burberry. They had some really weird stuff. If you recall, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know that I got a Burberry banner tote, like tiny one. I think it's the baby size, I believe, from Roermond a couple of, like half a year ago at this point. I was going to say a couple of months ago. It's been half a year. But yeah, this time around they had some really weird stuff. Like ready to wear, they did have some good discounts, and also like on the bags, but the bags themselves, I could definitely tell why they're on such a discount. I mean, thankfully, nothing that caught my eye and that had to come home with me. I did purchase something at Ferragamo. Yeah, that kind of wasn't planned, but also kind of my fault for going inside Ferragamo first off, because out of all the brands that are in Roermond, there's the highest chance of me finding something that I want to purchase and take home with me in Ferragamo. So I have to look around the bag and stay tuned for an unboxing. I might include it at the end of this vlog, depending on how long it is going to be, or I'm just going to like include it in a separate video. But yeah, I'm currently in front of what is it? The Body Shop. So I think our next stop will be Gucci and Prada and Miu Miu, because we're approaching midday and it's starting to fill up quite a bit. Catch you there. Alright, so we're inside Prada and Miu Miu, and they're always like together in one boutique because, yeah, they're sister brands. And interestingly enough, since the last time I went here, they actually changed the layout. So Miu Miu is like right in center when you enter the boutique, which probably reflects that Miu Miu is currently like super affordable brand. But yeah, let's check. They do have some more low-key ones, but it's like floral green raffia material. Very autumnal colors. One thing I really don't like is Miu Miu and Prada don't display the original price of their bags at the outlet, so it's always like a guessing game in terms of how much you're actually saving, which, I mean, yeah, makes it definitely harder to like assess whether you're actually purchasing a bag that was made for the outlets, which seems to be a thing with Prada especially. Okay, these are actually cute. Adorable, and chances are they're gonna come with a like crossbody strap, hopefully. If you think about this one, it's like very Y2K, I think, but I way prefer this as opposed to like this type of like ruffly leather. This looks very outlet to me. This actually looks quite expensive. I love a grey bag. Okay, very playful, very much not my style, but look at how adorable! It's so cute, like the roses. Let's check. It's probably at least like 10% off the price that's displayed on the tag. If I even manage to find the tag, let's check. always skip out on shoes, but let's look at some shoes. Aren't these like men's? No, that's a 40, so women's, but quite chunky. So they do have some like very basic shoes right here. Those are like a nylon material.
I'm a little bit naughty, I'm a little bit too consumed, but every part of my body is telling me to run away from you. Come a little bit closer, yeah, yeah. Come a little bit closer, yeah. You're a little bit crazy. It's been days, but you never change. What's love got to do with it? He comes around, better knock that stuff down. Come a little bit closer, yeah, yeah. Come a little bit closer, yeah. To all my ladies who got a brother that doesn't treat them right, put your finger right in his face and tell that man bye-bye. I'm too fly, I'm too fly. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. You're a little bit selfish. You get mad every time you lose. You can't take me with you. I'm scared you're gonna blow your fuse. Come a little bit closer, yeah. I can really start over, yeah.
So Valentino is basically next door to Prada and Miu Miu, so let's quickly check out Valentino and then we're gonna go to Gucci. Valentino, in terms of the size of the boutique, is also on the smaller side. Not quite as small as the Chloé boutique, but like I'd say 40% of the space is actually occupied by men. So if you're into Valentino as a guy, definitely make sure to check out the selection at the outlets. This bag, the Rockstud in the all black, really spoke to me. I'm generally not that much of a Rockstud kind of girl, but this kind of spoke to me and it really went with my outfit. Also, the markdown was actually quite good. That unfortunately doesn't apply to all of the bags that I looked at. So while Ferragamo, for instance, was a flat 35% like across the board, when it comes to Valentino, it was definitely a matter of looking at the price tag of every single bag, because some of them were marked down significantly, like really generous markdowns and like markdown upon markdown, whereas some other bags were very skimpy when it comes to the markdowns. There was one white one, which I'm going to show you in a second, or like an off-white, there it is. Like $180 off is basically nothing. Is it like 10-ish% off? Absolutely not. That's definitely not the type of markdowns that I'm looking for when I go to an outlet. These two were marked down significantly, but yeah, they're a little more out there in terms of the structure or lack thereof and like the material. So I do get why they were marked down a couple of times. But yeah. Oh, also talking about the Rockstuds, not only do they have a couple of Rockstud bags, they generally also have quite a good selection of Rockstud shoes, heels, open toe sandals. Yeah, a whole range.
I'm glad that's what you believe. So all my ladies who got a brother that doesn't treat them right, put your finger right in his face and tell that man bye-bye. I'm too fly, I'm too fly. Oh, bye-bye, bye-bye. U-G-L-I, that's how you spell goodbye. U-G-L-I, you'll never see me cry. U-G-L-I, that's how you spell it. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye.
Alright, so the selection inside Miu Miu and Prada was actually quite good. I think I've been somewhat vocal about the fact that those aren't my typical go-to brands, but I generally go inside just like to show you the selection, and obviously everyone has his own taste. So if you're a Prada or Miu Miu girly, even I was impressed by the selection. They had some really special pieces. Obviously, some bags that kind of look like they were made for the outlets, allegedly, but some that look fairly plain, which is generally more my go-to. Anyway, so I'm across, basically, let me turn around, that's a part of the Gucci store. There's a massive line, so bear with me. I might be able to get inside, but I also have a bus to catch home, or like a bus to catch to the train station to get home, actually. So yeah, fingers crossed I'll manage to get inside and have enough time to actually film stuff and go back to the bus station and actually be able to catch my bus. Let's see how that works out. But yeah, if you've made it this far into the video and you enjoy it, I would really appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing. My ultimate goal for basically the end of the year is to reach 5,000 subscribers, and I can't do it without you. So I I would really love for you to join my little YouTube family. And I guess let's get in line for Gucci, which should give me ample time to charge my phone because, yeah, I'm filming, when it comes to vlogs, in Armani. Should we go inside Armani? By the way, I didn't make it into Dolce & Gabbana. It was empty inside, but there was a line outside. I was like, no, Dolce & Gabbana is definitely not worth waiting in line for. But where was I going? All right, so when it comes to filming inside boutiques and counting outlets inside that, I tend to film on my phone. I did purchase a vlogging camera a couple of months ago, but that's more so for some sit-down videos, but more specifically for travel vlogs. So yeah, filming on my phone generally means I'm running low on battery basically all the time. So let me charge my phone while I'm waiting in line for Gucci, and let's check out some Gucci bags.
I just wanna hold you. I just wanna look into your eyes and tell you that I want you. You know you make me feel so alive. Can't stop thinking about you day and night. Love it when you kiss me, love it when we touch. Every time I'm down, yeah, you make me smile. You're the solution.
I feel like Gucci is such a staple when it comes to these more upscale outlet villages. That being said, I actually, somewhat recently, I haven't uploaded it yet because I'm a little hesitant, so let me know if you want to hear my thoughts, but I recently filmed a video where I talked about my opinion or like my perception when it comes to the impact of certain brands' presence in basically every other outlet village has on the brand's perception and like the image. So let me know if you want to hear my thoughts. Anyway, so back to Gucci. The selection was actually quite good. One thing I was really surprised by is these iridescent pieces. I'm 99% sure that I came across those towards the end of last year, like at full price in the boutique. So the turnaround is fairly quick when it comes to some of the Gucci bags. They still had a couple of Gucci Adidas collaboration pieces left. I'm not surprised. I'm kind of surprised because they've been sitting on the outlet shelves for way over half a year. I also briefly took a look at the ready-to-wear, and ready-to-wear generally is at least 50% off at Gucci, which I think is quite generous.
You make me feel like I'm alive. You are, 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 you are the solution. You are the solution. You are, 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 you are the solution. You are the solution. I wanna hold your head, you're everything that I desire. Every time we touch, we can set the world on fire, world on fire. I wanna hold your head, you're everything that I desire, I desire. Every time we touch, we can set the world on fire, world on fire.
And lastly, I also made a quick pit stop at Kate Spade. Kate Spade is definitely also an outlet staple, and they did have quite a good part of the boutique filled with pieces that were marked down several times. Chances are like from the spring summer selection, at least like judging from the colors. This bag is definitely trying to be a Fendi peekaboo, but it was cute and definitely way more affordable than a Fendi peekaboo. Also, Kate Spade is for sure known for very like whimsical pieces, so this was like a flower vase. Adorable. And wait for it, I found a girlfriend to Gary. So in case you don't watch Dale from Dale's Addiction, she has the J.W. Anderson pigeon clutch, like the one from Sex and the City or like the Sex and the City reboot. I found Gary a girlfriend, meet Kate. It was adorable. Also, talk about adorable, Kate Spade, I think they somewhat regularly do like collaborations with Disney, and this is the Lady and the Tramp collaboration. Not something I would wear, but I know there are definitely tons of Disney adults out there, or generally like people that grew up with Disney and that would be open to wearing somewhat more whimsical and out there pieces. Alright, so I'm already outside of the outlet village. It's like a residential street, kind of cute. I tried to film an outro in the outlet village, but it was so crowded, and I try my best, albeit it's basically impossible if you film shopping videos. I try my best to not film
that many people, and there was no chance that I was gonna get somewhat of an empty spot. So here we are. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think. I purchased at Ferragamo, which stayed the only thing that I purchased. I was very close to buying this, like, basically a wallet on chain from Alexander McQueen. I think Alexander McQueen just like recently opened their outlet location in Roermond, but there was like some weird wrinkling going on the front, so saved myself some money. Anyway, I also went inside Gucci. Maybe I waited like 15 minutes, so definitely manageable. And they even had a couple of Gucci Adidas collaboration pieces left, which kind of surprised me. Did it surprise me? I mean, safe to say that the collaboration pieces didn't land overly well, because like when I first went to Roermond, not the entire store, but like 3/4 of the outlet boutique were basically filled with Gucci Adidas collaboration pieces. Yeah, and they still had some. Anyway, so yeah, really hope you enjoyed it. And chances are, I have a feeling this video is going to be on the longer side, so I might actually include the Ferragamo unboxing. It's just like a tiny item. Oh, did I give it away? Let me know. I might include it in another video because, yeah, I don't want to keep you super long, and chances are I won't manage to do an unboxing in like 2 minutes because I tend to ramble. Anyway, case in point. Yeah, I guess thanks so much for watching. Consider joining my YouTube family, and I'm gonna catch you in one of the next videos. Bye.